As the movie starts, we hear a radio announcement in which it is being said that the Spanish government has very few resources, and there is a shortage of food and drinking water in the country. So, they have only to provide food to the children. And they are going to kill those women who were going to give birth to their children. The step had to be taken to kill them so that the population could not increase further. Then we see that a man coming out of the car who had brought many people to this place. Among them is a couple, a girl named Mia with her husband Nico. They are hiding so that the government helicopter doesn't see them. They go to a man, who seems to be a merchant and transferring people to other countries. We hear in the news that only Ireland has economic stability and therefore all people going there. This man demands money but Nico doesn't have enough so they give him their wedding rings. He put them in a truck where other people are also gathered. In the container, a woman watches news on her tablet, that the government is killing children and pregnant women due to lack of food. After seeing all this, Mia becomes worried because she is pregnant too. Nico sits and talks to Mia and also gives her a chocolate saying that, "You will eat this when we finish our journey, and reach another country where we will live happy with our child." Actually, before this child, Mia also had another daughter named Uma, who was killed by the police when they went out of the house during the lockdown. While they are talking, the door of the container opens. Nico goes to look what happened. Suddenly the door wide opens and many more people comes inside. A huge number of people are gathered in this container, so the man standing outside who had a gun in his hand, says that half of the people come out, our second container is coming, and the rest will go in this one. Nico is also dragged out among the others by showing him guns. Mia sees Nico through a hole in the container, that he enters into another container. There is a number 107 on that container. He talks to Mia on the phone and tells her not to worry, we both are going to the same place, we will meet each other, and tells her that you just take care of yourself. The truck starts moving again. On the way, she sees the chaos in the country. People protesting and the police are shooting at them. They also gathering women outside and killing them, especially those who are about to become mothers. After some time, the truck stops. Mia looks through the bullet hole, where some officers search the container. Now when the container is opened and checked, they find it completely empty. There is a secret hiding place inside this container. All the people are hiding there. But the captain of the police got suspicious. He asks, if there is anyone inside this container, then come out. Otherwise we will shoot you. Hearing this, Mia had climbed onto the top of the boxes that were kept inside that container for transporting goods. A girl who wants to save her life, she opens that door of the secret cabin. As soon as she comes out, the officer shoots her in the head and then everyone is killed one by one. After killing everyone, the officer orders to drag all the bodies out of the truck. They wash the container and then ask the driver to leave. Mia is very terrified, but she is safe so far. When Mia's truck stopped by the police, at the same moment Nico's truck also arrived. Now that she is out of danger, she tries to call Nico on the phone but Nico's phone is switched off. Then after some time the container starts jolting, so Mia looks outside to see what's happening. She sees that the container has been picked up by a crane and puts it on a cargo ship. She starts looking at the belongings of those dead people, which were in the container before. She finds a drill machine, a knife, light and many other things from a bag. Mia's container is on the ship and it sails. It is night and there is a heavy storm in the ocean. Because of that storm, Mia's container started shaking violently. She screamed for help but no one is going to hear her voice in this horrible situation. The ship is going up and down and also shaking very vigorously due to which Mia's head hit a box and she becomes unconscious. The next morning when Mia regained consciousness, she sees that her container is sinking slowly in the ocean. She quickly patches the holes with the tap. Suddenly she starts hearing voices from the nearby, which were the voices of the people, who trapped in a sinking container. It is the container number 107 which was carrying Nico. She gets worried for Nico and tries to call him, but her phone is also broken. She's looking helplessly to the container drowning and couldn't do anything to save her husband. She broke down completely after watching her husband's death like this. She thinks that if Nico is no more, then what will she do by staying alive, so she wants to kill herself by cutting her wrist. She tries, but then she thinks about her child, and therefore she changes her intention of suicide. She is happy thinking that very soon hers and Nico's child is going to come to this world. Thinking this, she falls asleep. When she wakes up in the morning, her container has started filling with water again, and she is drowning. She tries to get out of the water but is unable to. Suddenly, her eyes open, and it means that it was just a dream. Now she looks inside the wooden boxes, kept in the container. Inside it she finds empty Tupperware household containers, packaged earphones, packaged flat-screen TVs, bottled vodka, and packaged hoodies. She uses the rubber sealing of those empty Tupperware boxes to close those holes of the container from which water is coming inside. Now she says to herself that she had made the container suitable for her to live in. The next day Mia's receives a call, which is Nico's. He tells her that he was taken out of that container numbered 107, and he is alive. She tells about herself and says, "Nico, I am stuck in a container which is in the middle of the ocean." He says that don't worry, I will find you, you just take care of yourself and the child, because we have already lost our daughter because of the government. After talking to Nico and hearing that he is alive, she becomes a little relieved. Now she is hungry and therefore looks for food in people's leftover stuff in the container. She finds a few things but it's too little, therefore she uses it very carefully. At night, there is a huge storm comes in the ocean. Mia is very nervous and starts feeling pain in her belly. Then she gives birth to a girl, while standing in the water inside the container. She endured this pain all alone in the middle of the ocean. Mia now has a daughter, seeing whom she is very happy. She takes great care of her daughter despite limited resources. Gradually Mia gets used to this environment, but now the problem is that the food she has is finished. She is thinking about a way out of this container, that suddenly she remembers that she is having a drill machine. She tries to make a cut in top of the container with that machine, but her daughter doesn't stop crying. She comes down for her, and leave the work to another day. The next day she again starts work on the ceiling, but now the drill machine is out of charge and stopped. Mia throws away the machine in anger, and then she sees a saw-toothed knife. She now uses that knife but the knife also breaks. Mia sees that she has no water left to drink. Her condition is going worse and she becomes unconscious. In her unconscious state, she sees her daughter Uma, who was killed. She also feels Nico near her, who is whispering to her that Mia, this is not your fault, you tried everything. Then raindrops fells on her face, she regained consciousness. She now pulls the part of the container in which she had made holes, by entangling a flat rope in it. And Mia's hard work paid off. The hole opens, she first collects drinking water in the plastic containers. Then when she comes out to the top of the container, where she sees that her container was in the middle of the ocean where she could not see anyone far and wide. Now she goes back to bring her daughter out to the fresh air. She shows her the sky and the sea, and says that we will soon be leaving this place. She cleans her and throws the dirty cloth into the ocean, where she notices a lot of fish comes to the cloth. Seeing this, Mia gets an idea. She makes a fishing hook with which she tried to catch fish, but she could not catch even a single one. She is very tired and lies down on top of the container. She is looking at the sky where she sees a plane. She quickly goes inside the container and brings a piece of glass so that she can cast the reflection on the pilot's eyes, and bring his attention towards herself. But as she is in hurry, she hurt her leg. However, still she does not lose hope and brings a piece of glass, and reflects it on the plane, but the plane goes away. She comes down in despair, stitches her wound and bandage it. Then she takes those earphones lying near her, and starts making a net of it. She stays awake the whole night, and makes a net using those earphone wires. The next morning, she is sourceful by catching some fish and fills her stomach with it. Now she uses to catch fish every day like this. She kept some of the fishes in the empty plastic boxes. She starts to write down her number on a paper, keep them in plastic boxes, and sails them away in the hope that someone will find it and come to her rescue. One night, she gets a call from Nico, who says that, "Mia, forgive me, I could not come to save you." He says that his container has been caught by the police, and he have been shot. He told her that he has a very little time and he is not sure whether he will survive or not. Mia is devastated, but she tells Nico about their daughter, and says that she looks exactly like him. She has also made him hear the voice of his daughter. He talks to her for a while and then his phone switches off. Mia cries for a long time, and then sleep on top of the container. In this way, 32 days passed while she is in the middle of the ocean. She used all the stuff that was available in the container, and was useful to her. She makes a makeshift raft, using the empty plastic boxes and the top of the wooden box. She makes this small boat in which she places her daughter and the collected fishes. When she is on the top of the container, a seagull comes and picks up the fish. Seeing this, she becomes excited, because she thinks that there will definitely be land somewhere nearby. At last, the container started filling with water. She comes out to the top with her daughter, but suddenly she realizes that her daughter's picture had fallen into the container. She goes inside to pick it up, her foot gets stuck in a rope. At the same time, the container drowns and her daughter's cradle sails away. Mia somehow manages her way out, but now she can't see her daughter anywhere. She is searching for her crazy, but it's too foggy and she cannot find her anywhere. Suddenly, a whale comes near her daughter, and spills some water on her face, and she starts crying. Hearing her voice, Mia swims towards her. She says thanks to her daughter, that she is alive only because of her. It's too cold and she slowly falls asleep, but she is hanging with the little boat. When morning comes and Mia opens her eyes, she opens the box and starts throwing the fish, which she had packed with the boat. Mia looks at her daughter and says, "We did everything we could." She sees some seagulls gather in the sky, when she throws fish out of the boxes. A girl in a boat sees those birds circling around something, and she calls her dad. She asks him to take the boat near it. When they come near it, they find Mia's daughter. The girl looks at the boat and thinks that how did someone leave such a cute child in the water? She says that where would be her family? Then she sees a rope tied with the boat, and when they pull the rope, they see Mia's body comes out of the water. She had actually tied the rope to her arm. They pull Mia up. The girl tries to save her as Mia is unconscious. She gives her CPR and blows air in her mouth. Mia's breathing has stopped due to being in water for too long. When Mia heard her daughter's cry, she regained consciousness and asks about her daughter. That girl put her in Mia's lap. The girl's dad calls the Coast Guard for medical help. Mia is very happy now, seeing that these people saved her and her daughter's life. She is now in her new life. Tears comes in her eyes as she is thinking about her previous life, in which Mia had faced many troubles. Fortunately, she saved hers and her daughter's life. The boat starts sailing towards the shores. And at this point the movie comes to an end. The movie gives us a lesson that, the power of motherhood is much more than any other power on earth. It made Mia do everything that she could, to keep her family together and alive. Despite immense loss and being in an impossible situation, she never gives up fighting for survival, and for her newborn child. Thanks for watching.